Hello everyone. So today we are here to discuss about social media and social engineering. I know the first half we already know because we already use that thing, that is social media platform, social media applications. We all use WhatsApp nowadays. We use Instagram, Facebook. So we all are habitual of using some kind of a social media platform. But are we aware of social engineering? Are we aware of what social engineering attack means? Let's just go and have a look. So, why do we need social engineering? Why do we have to prevent from all these things? Because when we use WhatsApp, when we use other things, we don't seem to be like, there is some kind of a fraud going to happen with us. So we are just okay. We just randomly click on some button, we just randomly pass on our information because we think who's going to come and hack us? Who's going to come and steal our information? But here, protection of sensitive information is really important for organizations, companies, for government, as well as the individual like you and me. Although the effectiveness of protecting information is increasing day by day because people are not knowing what exactly an attacker can harm you, in what way an attacker can harm you. So people are just getting susceptible and manipulation for because of the attacker. So therefore the protection of information has been increasing day by day. What is the act of influencing and manipulating? Somebody comes to you, somebody tries to pretend something, and somebody, tries to talk to you and take information from you about your company, about your organization, or about your own personal information. So that's how people try to act and make an influence on you and try to manipulate you and try to steal information from you. And that is something called as social engineering or social engineering attack. Social engineering is nothing but to exploit. Now, your exploit means to go deeper and steal the information, take an information from somebody who's authorized and somebody who is an employee of a company or of an organization, or also somebody tries to steal information from you of your own personal identification. So, social engineering is nothing but who tries to exploit the of human behavior or even tries to steal your trust, tries to gain your trust. Social engineering also tries to pretend as predators on what a person needs or what somebody like something. For an example, you want to have a loan. Okay, you are into very crucial time, your bad time is going on and you don't find any other way, but you want to have financial loan from somewhere anyhow, and somebody just keeps an eye on you, and that person gets to know, okay, this person is in bad need of money, so this person will try to give me anything whatever I ask him or her. So when that person comes and tries to read you what are your needs and wants, that's where the person, the attacker, tries to become a predator. The strategy is to lie and to trick you and to gain information or to steal information from you. So that's how the social engineering has been done. So here are the few points which I already mentioned, like like pretending to be somebody else and trying to steal information from you, trying to gain the confidential information. Confidential means something which only an authorized person can access to the system or to the data. If you are given that login power from your company or from your organization, only you can access it. So when third person or when an attacker tries to steal it from you, that is how the person, the attacker is trying to make a social engineering attack on you by pretending to be somebody confidential. And once when that attacker is successful after stealing information from you, that's how the process of doing is known as social engineering attack. There are multiple principles of social engineering, but mainly over here are familiarity or liking. When you like somebody, or when you like as in a person, when you match your level, or when you have a familiarity with that person, that you people work in the same department, or you people have same interest, so that creates trust immediately. That's how the human nature is. So it makes the request appear reasonable and natural. Suppose you and the attacker who's trying to pretend to be somebody else, that somebody else whose interest and your interest match, or whose work profile and your work profile match. So immediately your trust has been there. You'd like to tend to like that person immediately, and that's how, if that person tries to ask you some kind of favor or something, like like I really need this or that, some kind of a request, you immediately try to help that person. The next principle is consensus for social proof. So it utilizes courteous behavior. Over here, courteous behavior is what? Somebody who tries to be very much polite, very much pleasant, and shows respect for fellow member or to you and surrounding around you. So that's how the person tries to gain trust of yours. And it creates fake, fake which means not fake, which actually looks real one, real contact, and it tries to take advantage of you. Next over here is authority and intimidation. So, like for an example, what is intimidation and authority related to? For an example, somebody tries to pretend to be a police officer or to be a CBI officer, something like an authoritative person. So they try to pretend like that, and you immediately, you get fearful, and you immediately give away all your information. You don't do background check, you don't do that, because as a human nature, you immediately fall for that trap when you hear from somebody is authoritative like police or CBI. So you immediately start answering the questions, and somewhere down they gain all the information whatever they wanted to. Next, scarcity and urgency. It is something which convinces the target. Target is nothing but victim, which can be you, me, or anybody, to make a choice. So this is what a person is pretending to be somebody in a badly need, and it already gained your trust, and the person is saying that, I really want to make payment for my hospital bills and everything, so I would really need your debit card information or credit card information, because my bank account has been locked or something like that. And you get into the trap because of emotional level, and you don't think twice. You just give away your card number, your CVV number, your security number, and that's how the scarcity and urgency has been done. So, social engineering can be used in face to face interactions, over the phones, letters, emails, website of like through person. It threatens you, it scares you, not only company, organization, government, but also individuals. So it is not only, you can get only your company get attacked, or somebody other like organization can get attacked, but also you and me, people like us, can also get attacked. So while technology has made some fraudulent activities more difficult, that is because of the technology, because of locking and everything, the fraudulent activities have become more difficult, and that is the reason For social engineering attack, there are more new opportunities have been created. Social engineering attacks. Let's just see what are different kind of social engineering attacks. The first attack over here is impersonation. Impersonation refers to the act of assuming another person's identity. So the persona or the entice or immediate situations where establishing identity is difficult. So that is, I pretend to be your co-worker. I lure you out. I try to say few things matching to your company, to your organization, and that's how I try to gain your trust. And slowly, I even try to steal all the information of your organization. Pretexting and trust. So, what is pretexting? Pretexting is something which uses a scenario with convincing additional detail. That is, there is a fabricated scenario already pre-planned based on your moves, on your schedule, on your routine, and the person tries to come close to you, while talking, while keeping an eye on you. Then already the fabricated scenario has been done for you, and victim like you and me, we fall for them, we fall in their net. And that is how pretexting is done by gaining the trust and also by keeping eye on you. Dumpster diving. Dumpster diving is something, it is a practice of stealing document and media from trash. Trash as in, basically this happens everywhere. Okay, we all are responsible for this because we are very much irresponsible while writing down our PIN number, our bank account number, or our password anywhere, in a diary, in a piece of note, or on a paper, or even when we are home. People tend to write their personal information over on the calendar. So that is how when you put all your things into the trash, you don't know which attacker or which person is keeping an eye on you. So when you throw away your trash, the attacker just looks into the trash and tries to steal your personal, important, sensitive information. That's how the dumpster diving is being done. Tailgating and piggybacking. Over here, tailgate and piggyback, they are similar to each other, but one is illegal way and one is the legal authorized way. So tailgating is something which is done illegally and piggybacking is something which is accessed legally as an authorized way. So the process is same where the attacker tries to steal the information and attacker tries to get an access into some organization's restricted zone or restricted area. All companies and organizations have one of the restricted zone or restricted area, so which is only access to some authorized people only, right? So that's how the tailgating and piggybacking is done. A person in tailgating illegally tries to access the protected area, like following the authorized person from behind him and tries to follow him till the restricted area and just, sneaks into that area when the authorized person tries to go inside that area. Even the tailgater also goes into inside that area. And piggybacking is something which is done where an attacker gets an approval from an authorized person to go along with him or her to the restricted area because the attacker gains trust by talking into them, and that's how the attacker gets an authorized legal way to get into the protected area. Identity fraud and invoice scams. So this is something we have discussed so long, but somebody tries to pretend to be somebody else on whom you trust or whom you can trust, and you just give away all your personal sensitive information or your organization sensitive information to them, because the attacker tries to become or tries to be somebody else in front of you as an legalized or authorized person. That's how the identity fraud has been done. The next is invoice scam. So when you get a mail that it looks just exactly like from your bank, and it says that you have to log in into your account because your account is going to be outdated in 2 hours. So you don't do a background check. You immediately just try to log in into your bank account so that your data or whatever they have mentioned, it should not go away. But you should, because this is a fraud. This is a net which they have put on you. So before falling for all these things, what you have to do is you have to call that particular bank. You have to check with them whether the mail was sent from their site or not. And if they say yes, it is an official one, then you can process. But 99% of the time, nobody asks you to put your login credentials via mail. Always remember that. So there are different few types of how the identity fraud and invoice scams happen. So over here, first one is credential harvesting. When some time ago, if your system has been hacked or attacked, so when it was attacked, there were some credentials which were saved into the database. So that's how the information from past attack is still there. Second is shoulder surfing. When generally wherever you are, you try to put your PIN, your password, or try to log in somewhere. So there are people around you, and you never know somebody is trying to sneak into or look into your phone or your desktop window or your laptop screen, that what PIN number you're putting or which password you're putting or typing. So always make sure there is nobody around you to to check, to have a look what are you exactly typing. The next one is lunchtime attack. The attacker physically gains access when the moment you leave the system unattended. That is something you should never do that, because whenever, even if you get a urgency or some kind of a thing, you think that I'll just be back in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but you don't know the attacker is sitting right behind you and trying to steal or trying to access your system the moment you're gone. So always log out from all the important sites, important accounts and everything, and then go somewhere and do your other work. The next one is phishing attack. Phishing attack is something, a merge of social engineering and spoofing. So I'll tell you what exactly it is. It tricks you or any victim or a target into interaction. It tricks you, like for an example, you receive a mail which says that is from your bank. Okay, and it tricks you. Okay, let's just forget that example. Let's just take new example. You get a mail saying that your child has been kidnapped, and I have kidnapped your child. The mail says this, and below that it is written, if you want your child back, so you have to pay me so and so amount. And you don't think about it. You just don't do any background check. You just don't do. but you start giving reply to them. And that's how the attacker tricks you into having a conversation. And the moment you start giving them responses, that's how they can put some kind of malicious. Malicious is nothing but corrupted code or something via email into your system. So do not respond to such things. Always try to contact the official authority before giving response to such emails or phone calls and all. The next is spam, that is spamming. Spam word we all are familiar to that because we all have Gmail account and in that there is a spam folder. Why there is a spam folder? Because all unimportant things, all things which are not something original, which looks like fake, that all goes into the spam account, spam folder. So that is the reason why things go into spam folder. So spam is what? Spam attack is something that use unsolicited email, which is known as spam. So it involves threat actors. Threat actors are nothing but somebody who tries to pretend from your legitimate bank or from your organization or the institution. The spam over internet messaging, that is somebody, the attacker who is trying to pretend to be from your bank is sending you some spam message via internet and the email address are thing. That is, the email address is looking just like your bank, but somewhere deep down it has some faultiness which we do not always check for. So before responding to such emails, try to check with your bank to with that particular institution and then respond to such mails. So, till now, whatever we learned, that was all about social engineering attack, which nowadays happens on large number of, it is happening, it is increasing in large number of times because every day, every minute, some kind of a social engineering attack has been happening, and that is the reason you have to be alert. What happens, nowadays when we all use social media, so my takeaway from this session would be when we use a social media platform, do not overshare all your information. Do not do that. Whereas on Facebook, you put on your location, your GPS, and everything. You never know when somebody is tracking you down. So whenever you go somewhere or whenever you on something on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, you never know who's tracking you. And when you purchase something or you get a new system, you put on different pictures. So you don't know who's keeping an eye on you and who's trying to steal away information from you, or who has planted a fake person trying to pretend to be a friend and trying to steal information from you, and that person will give it to the attacker. So you don't know. So always keep your all confidential, that is all your important, all your authorized information, the one which you are alone authorized or your organization authorized information. Always try to keep it to yourself. Don't overshare it on social media platform. And even if you get a mail saying it from your organization, saying it from your bank, and which requires immediate login, which requires immediate, details about something like that, do not respond to that mail. First, try to contact your bank, try to contact your organization, try to contact the so and so institution and check with them whether they have sent you the mail or not. And then you process further. So be aware, be safe, That's it. That's all you need for preventing yourself from social engineering attacks. Thank you.